this video, we are going to talk about a very important strategy that all communication partners for emergent AAC users should use that goes by many names. Some of these names are modeling, aided language input, and aided language stimulation. They all mean the same thing. It's really more of a preference as to which word you use. Throughout this video, I am going to refer to it as modeling. Now, if you're thinking, what is that AAC thing she was talking about? Pause here and go back to watch my other video, Introduction to AAC, Core, and Fringe Vocabulary. After you watch that video, you will have a better understanding of the basics of AAC and therefore be able to gain more information from watching this video. Okay, the first question you probably have is, what is modeling? No, it's not walking around on a catwalk, and it has nothing to do with fashion. As opposed to that kind of modeling, this is the type of modeling that anyone can do. Yes, now it is your turn to be a supermodel. Simply put, modeling with an AAC system is pointing to symbols in a communication system as you verbally say a word. Now pay attention to those words that I just said. We are only talking about what we as the communication partners are doing and not about what the student is doing. The focus of modeling is on what we are providing to the students. There are no expectations for the student except their presence. That's it. As long as the student is present, we can model language for them. If you've ever seen a core vocabulary communication board or any AAC system, you have seen these fun, often colorful pictures called symbols with words underneath them, arranged in a grid like this. This is an example of a core vocabulary communication board. For our AAC users, learning how to use these symbols to communicate is similar to us learning a new language. I don't know about you, but if I'm learning a new language, the addition of pictures or some way to visually show the word I'm learning will help me learn and remember the word for future use. The addition of pictures also activates another mode of learning through making language visual, which often helps students learn and remember what various words mean. Learning to use symbol-aided language is similar to learning a new spoken language. In order to teach our students how to use this new language system of symbols, we have to teach them how to use the system by using the system that they are using. Now, these core vocabulary-based AAC systems may not look confusing and may be clear for us as communication partners. However, we are able to read the labels underneath the words. That helps us ensure that we know what the pictures are representing. If we took the words or labels away and just left the pictures, do you think you'd be able to know what the pictures represented? Some, probably yes, as they are easily represented in pictures, such as the stop sign, as well as eat and drink. However, others are much more difficult to symbolate or turn into pictures, such as more, all, do, turn, etc. So, if we don't teach our students what these pictures and symbols represent, how can we expect them to understand what the symbols mean, much less use them to communicate with us? This is why we need to use and talk to students with their AAC system. So now that we know what modeling is and why we need to do it, let's talk about how to model language on AAC systems for our students. The first thing I want you to know is that you should continue to speak to the students as you normally would. You can and should continue to speak to students in phrases and sentences as you have been. There is not a need to only verbally say the words and symbols that you are pointing to and modeling. With that said, it is most beneficial to model one word above what the student is currently able to use independently. What that means is that if a student is not yet using or initiating any communication via symbols or AAC, you should only model one word or symbol for them. If a student is independently using one word or symbol to communicate via AAC, you can then model two words for them to help expand their symbol use for communication. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with all of this information, let me assure you and remind you that you can do this. Do not worry about doing it wrong. There is no right or wrong words to model on any AAC system. Modeling any words is better than modeling no words. In fact, you can model different words every time you engage in an activity. For example, during book reading, during one reading, you can model the words turn, look, like, I, etc. And on another reading of the same book, you could model the words my, you, more, again, yes, etc. Both readings are equally important. That's one of the wonderful things of core vocabulary-based AAC systems. You can model a variety of words, and all are appropriate. Another worry that some people have that are not yet familiar or comfortable with modeling words and symbols is that they don't know where all the symbols are within the AAC system. That's totally okay, and it's normal. I am familiar with many different AAC systems, and I still have difficulty finding symbols sometimes. There is no need to wait until you know where all of the words or symbols are before you start modeling. If you do that, you'll never start modeling language for your students. When you find yourself in the situation where you can't find the words or symbols that you're looking for, talk through that process that you're using to find the word out loud so the student can hear you. I often say things like, I can't find play. Where did that word go? And while I'm saying this, I'm scanning the board, tracking with my index finger as I'm pointing. Then, when I find the word or the symbol that I'm looking for, I say, oh, I found it. Here's play. And then I restate what I was going to say. For example, do you want to play? Talking through your strategy to find the word that you're looking for helps your student know that they're not alone if they don't know where all the words or symbols are on their AAC system. It also teaches and shows them that they don't have to be perfect and that it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone does. Now, if you're still overwhelmed, try this. Pick one word or symbol from the core vocabulary AAC system that your student uses and model that one word or symbol as often as you can throughout the day. When you feel comfortable with that word or symbol, you can then change to a different word or symbol to model. I know that as you continue to practice modeling, you will become more comfortable with it and will be modeling a variety of different symbols and words before you know it. Now, hopefully, by this point, you're feeling more comfortable with what modeling is, why we should use it, and how to use it. Now, to wrap things up, I want to touch on some questions that are frequently asked when I teach on this topic. Question number 1. Who should be modeling language on students' AAC systems? Everyone. All people that the student could possibly communicate with throughout their day should model language. Adults and children, teachers and peers, siblings, parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, you get the idea. Anyone that would or does normally talk to the student should continue to do so, with the addition of modeling the words they are saying on the student's AAC system. This helps students learn that communication happens everywhere and with everyone, and it is not an activity that only happens with certain people. Question number 2. Where should we model language? Everywhere. Just as we're encouraging the student to communicate with everyone, we should also be encouraging them to communicate everywhere they go. We are able to communicate wherever we go, and so should our AAC users. It's no different. You can help make this easier through ensuring that the student has access to their AAC device or system wherever they go. This could be through the student taking their device or system with them, or having multiple copies of their communication system in various locations throughout their day for easier access. Question number 3. What if they aren't looking at the AAC system when I'm modeling. It's okay. Even if they don't seem like they're looking or listening, keep going. You will be amazed at what they're picking up, hearing, etc. Some students might be looking out of their peripheral vision or in a way that's not obvious. They may look when you look away, which means that you most likely missed seeing them look. This could be for various reasons. For example, some students have difficulty looking at, listening to, and processing information all at once. It's just too much of a strain on their sensory systems. They may need to look, listen, and attend at different times to help increase their attention and comprehension. The biggest thing to remember is that we don't have to wait for the student to look at the word or the symbol before we model the word or the symbol. If we do that, we'll miss so many opportunities to model language for our students. Remember, if we wait for the look, we will never get to the language. Question number 4. What if they won't let you model on their device, core board, etc.? Honor that. It's their language system. If we want to instill a sense of ownership in the student with their AAC system, we do. We need to teach and show the student that their AAC system is theirs and that they are able to make choices about who uses their system and who doesn't. To help combat this and ensure that even though they don't want us touching their language system or device, we're still able to model language for them, it's important to have an additional version of the student's language system. You will most likely have to make a paper version of a digital device to model on. Another option is to see if they'll let you point to the words to model without touching their board. You can use a hover point, a light pointer, or a finger pointer with a light on it. Now that we've reached the end of this video, I hope that you feel much more comfortable with modeling, what it is, why we use it, and how to do it. If you have any questions about modeling, please feel free to reach out via email or through posting your question in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications. Then you'll be the first to know when a new video is posted.